Welcome back to 1% Daily, the podcast that's all about small shifts that lead to big transformations. Today, I want to share a mindset shift so simple, yet so powerful, it can change how you see your everyday life. Turning I have to into I get to. Think about how often you say these words in a single day. I have to go to work. I have to study. I have to work out. I have to cook dinner. On the surface, these words sound harmless, but they carry a hidden weight. I have to feels like an obligation. It feels heavy, like you're being forced to do something against your will. And when your brain hears have to, it resists. That's why so many people struggle to find energy or motivation. Their language frames life as a burden. But let's try something different. Replace I have to with I get to. Suddenly, I have to go to work becomes I get to go to work. I have to study becomes I get to study. I have to exercise becomes I get to take care of my body. Notice the difference? It's not just a small word swap. It's a shift from obligation to privilege, from weight to gratitude, from burden to opportunity. Here's the truth. There are countless people in this world who would love to have the things you call have to. Someone who doesn't have a job wishes they got to wake up and go to work today. Someone who can't afford education wishes they got to sit down with a book or a class. Someone who's bedridden would give anything to say, I get to go for a walk, or I get to exercise. What you see as a chore is often someone else's dream. Let me give you a story. I once read about a marathon runner who suffered a major injury. For months, she couldn't even walk properly. She said that during that time, she'd hear people complain, Ugh, I have to go to the gym. And she thought, I wish I could. When she recovered, she made a vow. Every time she laced up her shoes, she would say, I get to run. And that mindset shift turned every run into a blessing instead of a burden. This shift isn't just about gratitude. It changes your energy. Think about how you feel when you say, I have to. Your shoulders slump. Your energy drops. But when you say, I get to, your energy lifts. It reminds you of the opportunity hidden in the task. And that change in energy shows up in how you do the work. Instead of dragging yourself through, you approach it with appreciation. It also works in tough situations. Let's say you're dealing with responsibilities you don't love. Maybe caring for family, studying for exams, or working long hours. If you frame it as, I have to, you'll burn out faster. But when you remind yourself, I get to support my family, I get to learn, I get to provide, it taps into purpose. And purpose always fuels endurance. Here's the challenge. Over the next 24 hours, every time you catch yourself saying, I have to, pause and switch it to I get to. Notice how it changes the way you feel about the task. Notice how it shifts your mood from resistance to gratitude. Because the truth is, most of the things you have to do are privileges that someone else is praying for. At its core, this is about perspective. Life will always give you work, responsibilities, and challenges. But whether they feel like burdens or blessings depends on the words you use. And when you live with a get-to mindset, you'll find more energy, more gratitude, and more joy in the very things that once felt heavy. Thank you for tuning in to 1% Daily. Remember, life isn't a list of obligations, it's a series of opportunities. Every have to is a chance to remind yourself how lucky you are to even have that moment. Start saying, I get to, and watch how it transforms your energy and perspective. Keep going, stay grateful, and see you tomorrow.